This took 6 months, but it's finally done. Hello everyone, my name is Neyuse, or Neyu for short, and I really like collecting merch. When they announced a plushie of Towa, I was super excited. I have been following updates about the game way before the English version was released, and knowing myself, I knew I would really like the game and I would like to get merch of the main character, even though I didn't know him at the time. I also got the Nendoroid and the artbook because I knew I would have hated myself for missing it. When they finally announced the plushie and revealed the prototype and we got to see it. No. There is one thing that you need to know, and it's that I am very picky when it comes to merch. And in the case of this one, the hair looks way too detailed and the eye... What is that? What is that? I let it be for a while and the time passed. And after 2 years of this silly guy living rent-free on my head, I finally decided that I wanted to make my own plushie design. Because at this point, it was a necessity. It was a need. And I have seen people make plushies in the past, so how hard can it actually be?
Foreshadowing is a narrative device.
So this process started in October. It went through a big round of edits and very small subtle changes, but they truly made a big difference. For this plushie in specific, I wanted it to wear a onesie because I wanted him to match with the zombie plushie that I owned, the one that was designed by Isaki, because I wanted to put them together at the end of my bed and for them to match, because I have my priorities very clear. So with that in mind, I decided to post the design. For plushies, you need a very high minimum order to make them produce in mass. I have made a lot of merch in the past, but for plushies, you need 50. I have never sold that amount of merch that I have done, so I was very afraid I wouldn't be able to reach. But to my huge surprise, we exceeded it by a lot, so thank you everyone that submitted their desire to acquire the plushie to the form. Super appreciated, because thanks to you all, I started this long journey. From that form, I actually took a few suggestions. One is that I added the hand scar that Towa has, and also a bunch of people actually requested for him to wear his regular clothing, but I didn't want him to just wear simple trousers and jacket. It had to be cute, and we all know that Towa has very strong cat energy. The one thing I agree with Madarame. So I added cat ears to the hoodie and I embroidered the tail on the back of the jacket because it's important, very important. Once that was done, I started looking for different suppliers on Alibaba. I actually sent around 4 emails to different suppliers. I ended up going for the one that had the best pricing for the sample and allowed for a bunch of free edits, because I knew a project like this was going to need multiple iterations. After that, I got in contact with them and they sent me a chart with all the materials that they had, and I put them together in a guide to send to them. This is how the chart that I made for my manufacturers look like. I also included pictures of other plushies to make sure they had a very clear idea of what I wanted. The more reference, the less mistakes they will do. Right? First thing we needed to do was approve the embroidery pattern. Everything was looking nice, I get my okays, and the waiting started. And I waited, and God, he's so good thing from this version is that they got all the embroidery details right the first time, so there was one less worry to have. The fabric they chose for the inside of the bunny onesie was looking very cute, and the pon detail, oh, I'm so happy I requested that. So cute. Aside from the hair, I also wanted it to change the shape of the ears of the cat outfit. They look it a bit too pointy for my liking, and also noticed that the strings were on the trousers rather than on the jacket, so that needed to be fixed. After this, they took another full month and I have to make the next prototype, and when it was done, they managed to make the hair worse somehow. Good things from this round is that they nailed the cat outfit. I only wanted them to make the sides a slightly bit more puffy, and in the bunny one I wanted the hoodie to cover more of the head, but aside from that, nothing super drastic. It's just that they needed to get the hair After this, they were given the okay to start the third version. And here is when I underestimated how long a project like this would take. At this point, we were at the end of December and New Year's was approaching. And right after that is the Chinese New Year. And that's when they told me that they had to postpone working on my plushie because they had to focus on mass producing another order that they had, which I totally understand, and I let them know I was fine with waiting. But I started to fear people will forget that this project was even going on, because you all know how the internet moves from thing to thing very fast. So I will give the advice for anyone that would like to make a project of this scale. If you are able to afford the pricing of the prototype, work on it before you announce it, or have it very advanced on the prototype stages, so when you announce it, you don't have to wait almost half a year. Going back to the plushie, I finally got the pictures of the third prototype. I haven't checked the time, but I think it was around late February or something. And oh my god, the hair wasn't a pain to look at. You all have no idea how stressful getting the hair right was. I thought they was going to go for another extra round, but finally they got it right. The only thing I noticed is that they made the bangs shorter this round, when in the previous iteration they were covering more of the face. So I asked them to make that one change. The rest was perfect. I was seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. After, I think it was 2 weeks, that's when they told me that I was ready, and they sent the pictures and he was finished. After 6 months, this long journey was finally over. At the time of recording this, I still don't have the sample in my hands, so I will probably insert here my reactions to opening the plushie for you all to see. It's here. Oh my god, he's even cuter in person. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Should I take some photos? I should probably take some photos. Son, lo siento mucho por ti, que vas a tener que editar esto. His butt cheeks are impressive. Now that you have seen my reaction, between the creation of the second and third outfit, I got down to work on extra goodies. I made 2 designs for frosted kitchens to represent both outfits. I made the adoption card too, and also an extra piece of merch for my Patreons. If you join in the premium tier for just this 1 month, you will get access to this keychain wherever you order the plushie or not. It will allow me to keep working on projects like this in the future instead of focusing mostly on working on commissions, and you will also get access to early access of illustrations, step-by-step process, and speed paints, so please consider checking it out. At the point of posting this video, pre-orders of the plushie are finally open. It's very unlikely that we'll open pre-orders for them again, so it's now or never. Get yourself a silly bunny. This is my first long format video. Thank you so much for reaching the end. I have other ideas for scripted videos in the future, so hopefully they won't take very long to make. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye bye!